Hello.
Hey, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, okay, I
Hello.
can hear you now. All right, let me. Okay. Um so just a moment, please. I'm having some technical difficulties here. Goodness. Okay. All right, it seems like everybody is here and we are ready to start our panel discussion regarding blockchain security and restaking AI and Memecoin. First of all, to all of the speakers and all of the listeners, thank you so much for being here. And oh God, Abelian, we had quite the day today. And this is related to not blockchain security, but online security in general. So I think it's important that I talk about this before we get move forward with our official discussion. So this morning, I woke up and I headed to the Abelian Telegram group to do my regular morning GMs to the community. And I enter the group and I see news that Abelian is migrating to Ethereum and that everybody should migrate their wallets now. And it was there was an airdrop reward for those who successfully migrate, and there is also a fake Abelian website linked. So it turns out that one of our admins' Telegram account was hacked as she was verifying through a fake safeguard bot that her friend had sent her, and her friend's account was actually already hacked as well. So it was a double hack. And then, everyone, we lost our access to the Telegram group. And yeah, it was a pretty crazy morning, pretty crazy day. But then I just kept thinking, what a perfect day to have a panel discussion on security. And we're talking about security and literally the three hottest things in blockchain right now: restaking, AI, and Memecoin. So we have Hacken, QProtocol with us to co-host, and we have the founders of Abelian, Hacken, and QProtocol here. We also have Ray, KOL, DGen to help us out, host the space. Thank you for being here. So, speaking, how are you guys?
Good, thank you.
Thank you for being here, Martin. I saw on Twitter that you're especially excited to talk about restaking and security because it's not really what it seems.
Yeah, absolutely. I think restaking is as you said, it's a hot topic. So I think many people still need to wrap their mind around what it is, what it means for security. And, I think some things may not be as obvious as some people think. So I'm, looking forward to the discussion.
All right, yeah, I'm really looking forward to the insights that you can provide on security and restaking as well. Before we begin, could you maybe start off by briefly introducing yourself and also QProtocol?
Sure, yeah. So my name is Martin. I'm trained in traditional finance, basically, and I'm one of the initiators of the Q protocol. And the Q protocol is a layer one blockchain which aims to provide what we call shared governance security. So security is at the very heart of the proposition of what the Q protocol provides, but specifically related to governance questions, which we think is still, pretty much how to put it nicely, a wasteland in crypto. There is still a lot to be done. So we tend to differentiate between smart contract security, transaction security, having secure transactions provided by L1s, L2s, and so on. And obviously, smart contracts developed in a way that they can be used securely. But on the other hand, we have all these governance decisions where protocol participants, people at the end of the day, decide on questions that are security critical. Think about DeFi, think about protocol upgrades on pretty much any protocol or application. And many of those are security critical. And unfortunately, we regularly see exploit on that front as well. So that's what we are working on.
Thank you for the introduction. Abelian, we're coming out with a layer 2, and our ultimate end game is also to build a DAO so that we can decentralize it and also, according to you, reap the security benefits of a DAO. And I think we can talk more about that even privately through our group chats as well. Thank you for the introduction. And we also have Hacken. We have the Solidity smart contract auditor Arda here joining with the official account of Hacken. And we also have Daima, the co-founder of Hacken. It's a very well-known Web3 security audit company. Welcome, guys. Could you guys please briefly introduce yourself? Let's begin with, I guess, Daima, if you're available. Okay, not available. So Arda, are you there from the Hacken? Oh, sorry. He says that I muted him, but I did not. Okay, so I'm going to try to Daima. I'm going to remove you from the speaker slot, and then could you please request to speak again? Okay, thank you. Huh. I think he left due to technical issues for a second. Arda, are you there behind the mic? Oh, okay, Daima's here. And hopefully the mic is unmuted. Oh, okay. Can the Hacken official account speak? Okay, Daima, you're having technical difficulties, correct? Okay, yeah, definitely. And behind Hacken's official account, Arda, are you having technical difficulties as well? Okay, I'm guessing so. So now we have the introduction of, let's go with Dr. Duncan Wong, the founder of Abelian Foundation, focusing on quantum security. Also, we are the host of this amazing panel discussion today. Hi, Duncan.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, finally I can press.
Nice, awesome. So, Duncan, good to have you here. Thank you for joining, founder of Abelian Foundation. Could you please briefly introduce yourself? Hi, Daima. Oh, you made it.
Finally.
You made it,
What happened,
finally.
sir? Yeah, I was having an issue. It was like red button muted, and I couldn't unlock myself. But okay, now it's good. Hello, everybody. Yes, thanks for introduction. The topics are hot, but the challenges related to restaking and meme coins, especially, are even hotter, I would say, because we already see a lot of people losing money in meme coin industry just because of the rug pulls. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see a lot more in restaking because, as Martin said, restaking is not always what you think it is, because there is a lot of economic games behind, and as you know, the staking and restaking rewards are not coming from nowhere, and you have to be very very attentive on what API are you getting to your stake and restake assets, and you have to understand the ecosystem very much because with the way restaking platforms are built right now, they are becoming quite interdependent between like all the staked assets that's are there due to DPEG potential issues. So yeah, happy to discuss this as well.
Okay, you're also excited about meme coin and restaking, but in the security sense, kind of like the whole blockchain world right now. Thank you so much for the introduction. And what about Hacken? What does Hacken do in terms of security?
I guess this is a question to me.
Yes,
So,
yes.
all right. So we try to make our industry a little bit more safer place, and it's not just by auditing the code. We are also building security standards, and we are working closely with regulators, so that to increase the bar of maturity of our industry, because right now we still see too much hacks, too many scams, and that's we cannot lose this. We cannot make the. I'm not sure if we, as an industry, will survive once again if we will have another FTX or Luna, because that's gonna be like like a childish mistake. So we put all our efforts to raise the quality of not only our security audits, but we educate regulators on how they should like put some pressure on projects so that they are more mature and their clients safe. The client assets are more safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're from 2017. Yeah, 130 people team. Locate headquarters currently are in Lisbon.
Wow, that's very impressive. And thank you for making this blockchain space more mature and safe. Hacken is partners with Abelian. Hacken last month completed auditing the Abelian wallet and the Abelian blockchain as well. And now the Abelian blockchain and wallet is safe from the security check marks that Hacken, as a professional security auditor, provides. It's like an industry standard. Arda, could you share more about the partnership between Hacken and Abelian and what Abelian security is like? Do you have any insight that you can share on that? I do think Arda is still experiencing technical difficulties. So let me go through this real quick. We have to go through our questions that we have today. So, as I mentioned before, Abelian got a very good scores with Hacken's security audit test. We just we are ready. We just finished. We just announced the partnership last month, and we're really excited about the upcoming opportunities like these to improve blockchain security and safety in general. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. And Dr. Duncan Wong, founder of Abelian Foundation, thank you for being patient. We are also on a mission to make this blockchain space much more mature and secure. So could you please briefly introduce yourself and also Abelian?
Sure. Can you hear me,
Yes.
Lisa? Great. Yeah, I got some problem with the mic, and now it seems that everything is working. So first of all, thanks for having me over here. This is really a great panel. About myself, I got my PhD in cryptography back to so many years ago. And then after that, I've been doing research in cryptography, mainly on digital signature for all these years. And a few years ago, I started on this project, Abelian, as a quantum-resistant blockchain system together with a few other professors and researchers. So about Abelian, the main objective is to build a quantum-resistant blockchain ecosystem. So currently we have finished developing the layer one, which is basically a proof of work blockchain network. And then the underlying cryptographic algorithm that we use is called lattice-based cryptography. So lattice-based cryptography is well known to be secure not just against the conventional computers, but also against the future quantum computers as well, by making use of some mathematical structures of the lattice-based vectors and all that. So this is the foundation, and on top of the foundation, we are currently working on the layer two, and layer two is gonna be POS, and it's also gonna be quantum resistant. The most important thing about the layer two is its performance and also its support of the EVM compatible layer, as a smart contract layer. And also we have the rolled up bridge to connect layer one and layer two together. Yeah, so I consider now as the beginning of this quantum resistant ecosystem establishment. And I'm very happy to have Hacken helping us out to look into our implementation security, the code quality and all that. So looking forward to having more collaboration with Hacken. Thanks.
Yeah, Duncan just mentioned our layer two that's coming, so that's also an area that we're excited to explore opportunities with Hacken with. The most common questions that we get from the community is why worry about quantum computers now? Isn't that in the far future? Well, first of all, quantum computers are developing in an immaculate pace that we can, and they really will be able to break blockchain encryptions in the next 5 to 10 years. But quantum resistant cryptography and blockchain is very new. It's going to take time to pretty much settle in the industry, and to try to salvage any quantum computing attacks after quantum computers are already available, it's going to be there's going to be too much damage. Um, so we really want to ask everyone to acknowledge the importance of quantum resistance and also have a more proactive attitude in protecting our assets uh, and technology in this blockchain space. So let's move on to our first question that Daima and Martin have already expressed their enthusiasm for, which is restaking. So, for those of you who don't know exactly what restaking is, it's been very hot these days. And to name drop, EigenLayer has been the most famous restaking platform. Basically, from the user's end, you can like double or triple the rewards from staking. And this can happen because whatever tokens they stake, EigenLayer uses to other EVM compatible protocols to enhance security. And I think what was said by both Dime and Martin in the beginning, where it's actually pretty risky, is worth noting. So, Martin, could you please dive a little bit deeper on just give us more information about security and restaking and how it's different from security and the previous protocols that we have known. Daima, do you have anything to say on this?
Yeah, for sure. So, the main idea of agent layer is that you can provide the Ethereum decentralization, like basically the security of having such a widespread node operators into other products or solutions that can benefit from it. So, for example, there is a theoretical interesting example that there are no layer 2s currently with decentralized sequencers, meaning that layer 2s can basically manipulate the sequence orders in the blocks, which can lead to certain market manipulations. And the idea was that stakers can take their wrapped ether, and they can restake it into, for example, this infrastructure protocol that proves the decentralized sequencers, and if they try to do some market manipulations, they will lose their stake, which basically is the one that we are the principle how Lido and the whole Ethereum is working. And that's a very good example. And here we have very, and I have to highlight it, that this is a theoretical example. And here we have very cool utility. So layer 2 protocol, they are interested in becoming decentralized, and they are ready to pay for such restaking service in order to get the technology. And this way, so here's a good example, but in fact the percentage of such potential rewards that can come from such infrastructure project, it cannot be crazy APYs like some people would expect, like double, triple, quadruple from the initial amount. And over there is a major issue also, that if you stake more, the more people will stake, the more basically APY you need to send. And here we have the major. And here we have the problem of our industry is the limited number of good projects that have something more than just minting utility for their tokens. And here we have the problem of our agent layer, that they will need to constantly search for such projects, and there is a big risk that at some point there will be projects that have only minting utility, and basically that's are printing those rewards absolutely from the thin air. And if this happens, and especially then maybe it's okay, it's fine to receive some free tokens for nothing, just for the marketing. And this is a smaller problem. But the bigger problem is if those projects who are getting your if those projects are starting to use your staked ether, And if they start to use your stake ether for certain, for example, liquidity of their protocols, for certain trading, for certain order books filling, then you start to be dependent on the economic model of these projects, and which is more bad that all of those projects start to be like all the potential APIs, even if you don't put your money onto it, you start to be in you start to depend from the weakest project in the ecosystem, because if the weakest project in the ecosystem will be failed, if it will lose if it will be hacked, if it will lose some value, then it will not be able to cover and to give back the staked ether to the previous staker, and then we can have a potential depack of the whole ecosystem. So to conclude, few conclusions. So it's interesting technology. It can solve real problems, but unfortunately, there is not enough examples of the projects who is ready to pay for that infrastructure. Second, you need to assess very carefully on the projects where you want to restake your staked ether. And third, you need to understand of the risk that if there are, even if you don't stake your ether into some project that you don't trust, you still depend on them. So there should be a big pressure on all the companies who are working in the restaking in like sub industry to disclose in very detailed every project, where it gets its APY, where the rewards are coming, and to disclose all the risks associated with it. And this is as we as an industry, we have to focus on it. Okay, thank you.
Right. Yeah, totally agreed. I mean, normally when there's a lot of rewards, there are bigger risks involved, but users really are are really incentivized by rewards. I mean, we all want to make more. So I agree that it's really appealing, but we do need to look at it a bit more in the long term. So to Abelian, I wanted to ask any thoughts on long-term implications of restaking layers on the Ethereum network? Because our layer 2 that we're preparing, it's going to be EVM compatible, so we will be in that EVM family. What are your current thoughts, Duncan, on restaking and these tokens being used as security for different protocols? Is Duncan still here? I think there's a lot of technical issues going on right now. But due to Duncan's absence, Martin is still set as a listener. I don't think he can speak. But okay, so Daima, thank you so much for your insight. It's going to be imperative for users to know this when they interact with any eigenlayer staking services. All right, and before we move on to the next question, Ray, KOL, and DGen has joined the chat a little late. Ray, do you want to briefly introduce yourself and why you're here?
Yeah, sure. What's up, guys? I'm a DGen from California, Orange County, but I recently moved to Korea and have been building my network out in Asia, Taiwan, Japan, Korea, and Dubai. And I started off just learning about NFTs, flipping NFTs on VV, which is like a premium digital collectibles app, trading coins, building communities, and just doing events now. I recently did an event in Korea, and I started off actually with meme coins, like learning about meme coins, learning how to make things go viral. So we've taken coins to 10 million plus market cap, starting with almost like little to no liquidity just by getting whales going viral. And I've been seeing a lot of, since meme coins is a topic, like exploits. Like one of my friends took a coin to 100 mil market cap, and then they kind of had a hack. An internal member, kind of took money. And so I think one way to help for the security would be like a multi-sig wallet where they cannot take the funds out unless like 3 or 5 people sign at once. Because a lot of times what happens is a bad actor just takes, just because one person is compromised, it doesn't mean the whole project has to go down. Kind of like what happened with Abelian Telegram. If there was a way for um, Telegram to have a feature where multiple people have to sign off instead of everything getting,
That would be
yeah.
great.
So that could be I mean, if anyone's a builder, maybe they could. That's an idea to build so that multiple admins have to sign off before compromising it with phishing link or something. So yeah, meme coins, I'd say that would be a good one solution. And then also um just making
Right.
sure you're vetting everyone who comes in, because a lot of people can just flood your Telegram with like bots or scammers. So like verifying everyone and yeah.
Yeah, that's important. I mean, you just mentioned a multi-sig wallet, which basically gives no, central authority, and that's, I think, Martin's specialty with Q protocol, Q blockchain, right here. It's basically what a DAO is meant for, to reduce security risks by giving authority to many people. Am I correct?
Hey, just checking. Can you hear me again?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I think I was out earlier on. I could hear you,
No,
but
no.
you couldn't
Hear
hear
you
me.
beautifully.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So one of the topics with multisigs is, I mean, multisigs are great and very useful for many use cases, but oftentimes you don't know who's behind the multisig and can you trust the people. So this is an area where we are looking for solutions or looking to provide solutions with a Q protocol by what we call providing an external governance anchor. So let's say you have a DAO, you want certain rules in your community, you want enforcement of those rules, then you can implement changes to the protocol or make decisions, for example, on treasury spendings with a multisig by community members. But then you can have Q as a governance anchor, for example, having veto rights on certain decisions or being able to time delay certain decisions that are security critical. And I mean, treasury spending of a DAO would be an obvious case, but also any type of changes to the protocol typically come with security risks. So you may want some external governance oversight, which Q can provide.
Okay. Yeah, so do you think oh, I'm sorry. Do you think that DAOs can improve the security of a meme coin? Just like how Ray kind of mentioned with multi-sig wallets?
I think so. I think so. I mean, you can have DAOs that have certain decision-making power on meme coins. I think one element that we should not overlook is the cultural aspect. So a lot of security is also driven by the culture of projects, and I like meme coins. I'm not judging or anything, but just very transparently, I also think that many meme coin communities are not necessarily very concerned about security. I mean, it's you have these pumps, you have dumps, people play it a bit like a game with money behind it. So I think getting or improving the culture, within the meme coin scene is also one area I think where we can, as a crypto community on the whole, improve a great deal.
Yeah, it's really about community and working together to create a safe space where, new users can join and still not really take the risk of losing all their money because that hits hard. When it's someone else's story, it's just like, oh my gosh. But when it's actually your story, uh, yeah, it's I don't even want to think about the damage it can do to someone's life. And so we're on a rather heavy, we're taking on a pretty heavy and serious uh, angle on meme coins because, yeah, and when it comes to security, it is a serious topic. And speaking of security first, uh, so before this, we were talking about DAOs and how they can improve security. Duncan, I want to ask you, as the Abelian founder, you're preparing a layer 2, and what kind of measures are being implemented in the Abelian layer 2 to ensure user fund security or security in the blockchain?
Sure. So basically for our layer 2, which is called Q-Day chain, Q stands for quantum, Q-Day chain, our main objective is to make sure it's the world's first quantum resistant smart contract enabled chain. So we actually have done a lot on making sure that, first of all, the underlying signature algorithm is quantum resistant. So that's the underlying part. In addition to that, all the assets, actually, Martin has already mentioned the multi-sig signature. While for us, we are implementing the MPC multi-party computation approach in order to secure the assets, the digital assets. In addition to that, we are also implementing a quantum resistant rolled-up bridge. And that quantum resistant roll-up bridge is going to store the witness or the transaction digest onto layer 1. And the layer 1 is already quantum resistant POW. And we will be able to write the witness onto the ledger of layer 1, kind of like the metadata stored over there as well. So these are all on the algorithmic level. And then I think down the road on the actual implementation security part, this is actually something that I'm looking forward to working with Hacken to work with the team over there and see how we will be able to make sure the implementation is secure and sound.
Thanks for the explanation. MPC computation is how Abelian is going to double secure the layer 2 after quantum resistance. And Duncan, one more question since we're on the topic of meme coins. How do you see an intersection of quantum safe technology and meme coins or any similar trends? Are there do you think there's a need for quantum resistance in these type of cryptocurrencies?
I think the short answer is definitely yes. In detail, what I'm thinking is that no matter what kind of digital asset it is, we need the quantum resistance. So for the meme coin, it can be very valuable, and also it's not just fun, but actually it has a lot of great applications for the meme coins. So I believe being able to make that secure against the future attacks from quantum computer would definitely be very important. Just imagine one thing is that everybody right now is talking about the hack now, decrypt later, right? So when we talk about hack now, decrypt later, which basically means that we're trying to get all the wallet addresses, and then in terms of the public keys, and then in the future when the quantum computer become mature, then you can actually make use of the quantum computer to hack and reverse the private keys of all those wallets, which may store the meme coins as well. So that's why I think actually we need to act now to upgrade our wallets to be quantum resistant in order to keep our digital assets, including a bunch of meme coins and also the NFTs as well, and so on.
Oh, so hack now, decrypt later means just store the data now and then decrypt it later.
Exactly.
This is what hackers. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why quantum resistance shouldn't be the future, but it should be the present. I can't emphasize this enough. And Daima, I see that you have your hand up. Do you have anything to share regarding the security of meme coins? I feel like you did in the very beginning. A lot to say. I think you'll have a lot to say about this.
Yeah. So yeah, the main the memecoin security is the most easy to, in my opinion, problem to solve, because like obviously how lots of people were rug pulled, they just were sending money to pre-sale to anonymous teams, and
Oh,
basically
so sad.
um, those anonymous teams, they were they would they were just disappearing. So, and in order to solve this problem, it's you just need to have a standard smart contracts when by default all the raised funds, they are sent like straight away to liquidity. And to be honest, we are working on such smart contract and a set of smart contracts, and that will just make like scammers impossible to manipulate and to run away from with the money.
Yes,
So
please.
it's possible to solve. It's just, again, the industry has to grown up and not to send money just like to wallet address in order to participate in the meme coin pre-sale. Like me personally, I really like the idea of this meme economics, when 90% of the token supply is locked in liquidity from the day one, from the day zero. But it's just people have to grown up a little bit, and we will definitely create the smart contracts, and it will be all publicly available to use.
Yeah, so you just mentioned community and the community's role in making meme coins safe. And Abelian, we're all about community as well, and also open sourcing all our source code, so people can check it and build with it. What role do community audits and open source contributions play in this context of crypto security? Do you think that community audits are trustworthy?
If this question to me, I think
Yes.
that's like we have to define what is community audit. If it's a crowdsourced audit, or is this the like audit of general community? Because if it's a crowdsourced audit, then it's a little bit it's professional white hats, solo auditors are working on this, and it's not an easy job, it's a skill
Mm-hmm.
job. And at the moment, crowdsourced audits, they are even more expensive than regular audits, but definitely like putting more pair of eyes on the code is definitely more it's always helpful. So um, saying that, I would say crowdsourced audit is good. And if we talk about the community audits, um, like GDeal and some kind of ranking of the teams and what they do based on certain methodology, I think it's also very, very valuable. And I really believe that this can be something that will significantly improve the landscape of our industry, very much because such issues as like how the pre-sale is done for the meme coin. They will
Yeah.
be raised, and people will be aware of it, and it will be possible, like to score them badly if they did a poor job. and they try to scam people. So yeah, community audits is also very, very good, and I like this idea.
Yeah, I think it was last November. Abelian, one of our uh, community members who was also a white hat hacker, found a bug in our wallet. So that was really big help. I do believe in the power of community. Abelian believes in the power of community when it comes to security too. And before we move on to the next and last topic before the live questions, Ray, you are a meme coin expert in some way. You have a lot of hands-on experience. Could you give some any tips or tricks that you have to avoid rug pulls and scams?
To avoid rug pulls and scams, I think someone mentioned it
Yeah.
earlier. Like most meme coins are pump and dumps, so unless you're like a very established meme coin like Doge or Bonk, where you're pretty much the meme coin of the chain, like you're probably going to get rug pulled. So what I always recommend people is to, when it goes up, always take your initial out and write off the profits, so you're not really losing any money. So say you put $500, at 3x's, take out 800, 1,000, let the rest of the money ride, so you're not really losing money. Because in this world of meme coins, you're going to face a loss if you're holding the bag too long. So if you want to avoid that, then just take out your initials when it goes up and just play off with your profits. Then you're not really losing. That's one thing I've learned. And just know that you're playing in a very high risk, high reward yet high loss field game. So just know when to get in, when to get out, and then also just look at the team, look at the community, see if they're actually building or if they're just if they're doing partnerships or they're building. I would say look at that, and
Yeah, that's good. DYOR and also know the risks. So, artificial intelligence in blockchain represents a revolutionary convergence. AI is everywhere, it's now in blockchain. And Duncan, I want to ask, will AI be in quantum safe blockchain technologies? Can AI improve or deter the security of blockchain when it comes to quantum computing?
I think speaking of the security part, currently our engineers are already heavily using those AI tools for doing some preliminary. I have to say it's just a preliminary security screening or some of the checking in addition to helping them accelerating their programming work. But down the road, I believe the AI will get more sophisticated on helping them out. At this moment, what I would say is that it's still not AI is not powerful enough to really replace the human way of doing the security review and auditing. But definitely, the AI is already helping us a lot, in a great deal, to screen out some of the so-called obvious issues or loopholes, so that we can actually leave the more sophisticated or intricate issues for the human to get involved. So that's one aspect. I definitely believe down the road we are going to make use of more AI on helping us, basically for strengthening the security. On the other side, we are actually looking into some other things related to AI, is to see whether we will be able to help on the AI development. For example, AI requires a lot of data training, and for our layer one, that layer one is POW. So instead of doing the mining a conventional way of solving basically the hash problem, whether we will be able to make use of that mining effort or the computational power to help out on the AI data training part. So this topic has been discussed quite widely in the industry, and recently we are also looking into that, working with a few universities and looking into several of the models. So hopefully we will be able to propose something which might fundamentally change the POW into something more meaningful and useful to the community.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Abelian is the layer one is a proof of work network, and the potential that proof of works have. I think that's a whole nother Twitter Spaces topic that we can cover. So thank you, Duncan, for the insight and the hints on what's coming up with Abelian soon. And Martin, when it comes to DAOs, can DAOs implement AI? How would DAOs implement AI? Is there an intersection there?
Yeah, I think there are various angles, and while we're still early in the whole AI and crypto space or intersection, I think there are a few interesting things here. I mean, one is AI helping DAOs. For example, if you think about DAOs that make relatively complex decisions, where there is tons of discussions, and it's not just one yes no vote maybe every few weeks, but it's more pieces that need to be decided by the DAO. For instance, if it's a protocol DAO for a DeFi protocol, then AI can potentially be very, very helpful in aggregating the discussions and governance flows and making that much more easily digestible for the humans who ultimately make the decisions, or even to a degree act autonomously within the DAO. So maybe on the other hand, and this is a completely different, almost the opposite angle, is if you think about AI and autonomous AI agents interacting with blockchain, or being active in crypto networks, then this is potentially very helpful, and there are already cases live where autonomous agents are making trades in DeFi protocols, for example. On the other hand, it's also a big risk because you're giving up control, and you want to make sure that the AI is governed well, that they act within rules that are set by the humans who deployed them. And here also DAOs can in the future play a role by setting guidelines, providing governance frameworks within which autonomous agents can then act on the blockchain. So I think the whole topic of AI governance is very interesting, and I'm hoping and thinking that the future of AI governance will be decentralized, in the sense that I would rather have a DAO or several DAOs be involved in the governance of AI, than the governance of AI being captured either by corporations that have their own interest and that tend to be very centralizing, or by individual nation states and bureaucrats in those nation states. So I think there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of interesting things ahead in the intersection of AI and blockchain. For me, this governance of AI aspect is probably the most interesting one.
Yeah, no, it was so futuristic when you said that we need to make sure that the AI follows governance. Like that sounded pretty crazy, like as if the AI is going to really act like a human. Pretty crazy. And last but not least, Diamond, does Hacken have any plans on utilizing AI for security audits? Is this safe? Is this a direction that you guys are pursuing? What's going on with smart contract audits and AI?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a hot topic, and right now I wouldn't say that there are like good solutions on the market, but I guess but there are teams who are building automated scanners. Yes, you will still always would need to have a human to run those tools, but generally I think it's a matter of time. But yeah,
Okay. You guys are open to using it,
Yeah,
although
no,
do the
we're researching this as well. We're researching it as well, and hopefully we'll have tools ready as soon as.
research, very important to get it right. Okay, so now we're going to move on to some live questions here. The audience has been raising hands like crazy this whole session. Very passionate audience. Thank you guys. I'm randomly going to pick Bullish Pizza. I've just unmuted you. Could you please give us your question? Bullish Pizza is connecting. And please also let us know who you're directing your question to. Hi, I did add you as a speaker. No, having
Hello,
problems?
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So my question for Hacken. So as a Hacken continue to grow and expand its service, what are the main challenges and company face in terms of scaling its operation and maintain its high level of cybersecurity expertise?
Um, we do have quite a lot of services, obviously, all related to security, but I would say that the biggest I wouldn't say challenge, but the biggest task right now for us is to basically build the market. And by building the market, I mean working closely with regulators and helping the regulators to understand the cybersecurity risks and so that we can put some I would say pressure on the teams to invest more in cybersecurity.
Thank you so much for the
Okay.
explanation.
Thank you.
And thank you both for asking your question.
Okay, thank you.
Can we okay, all right, thank you. Can we get another speaker here? Sorry, another question. Let's see who's raising their hands. And I am going to pick Henry. Henry, I've just unmuted you. Please ask your question. Hi, can hear you fine.
Yeah, my question is, I think your project hold up very well in bear market. And my question is, will your project hold up that well in the bear market going forward? Also, what will do you make sure your project can hold up well in the bear market?
All right. What will our project do
Yeah,
to hold up the bear market? Thank you for the question. It's really interesting. Duncan, could you please answer the question on behalf of the foundation?
Yeah, sure. So at this moment, we are still basically building, and regardless it's bear market or bullish market, at this moment, what we are trying to do is to make sure that we have a very decentralized and secure layer one system, and at the same time, we are building up this layer two, so that we will be able to build up more and more use cases, actual use cases, on the layer two. For example, once the layer two is out, I can basically share over here is that you can basically stake Abels, and you can get the QDAY tokens. And once you have the QDAY tokens, you can work on some of the DeFi protocols as well as some of other dApps that can make use of the smart contract to enable that. So what I believe is that we are focusing on building more and more use cases in order to sustain during the bear market, and also to be able to attract more developers to join our ecosystem. So please stay tuned. Very soon, later this month, we are going to make an announcement regarding the layer 2 and give you guys more details. And hopefully we will be able to get more developers to join us and build the layer 2 together.
Yeah, a good ecosystem is our plan, like building a really diverse and robust ecosystem, and bringing in users, having good projects that have users is Abelian's plan to uphold during the bear market. And last but not least, let's get our final live question from Jazz Jason P. I've just unmuted your mic. Please ask your question.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Yes, I have a question, especially since memecoin is always, memecoin is like a diamond for the Degen. Will there memecoin for the Abelian on the second layer?
I think that's a question for Duncan. Duncan, will there be meme coins on Abelian layer 2?
Yeah, sure. So to answer this question, at this moment, unfortunately, I cannot announce, but definitely we are actually working with a few collaborators on that. And in fact, in addition to layer 2, actually the layer 1, we are going to have the upgrade at the block height 300,000, which is about 2 months from now, almost 2 months from now. And by that time, the layer 1 will also have the Abelian user token protocol, which basically means that our collaborators, users can also issue their memecoins on layer 1 in addition to layer 2. So definitely it's yes. And I hope that I will be able to, or Lisa will be able to make some announcement in the very near future regarding our collaboration with some other projects regarding the memecoins. Yeah.
Absolutely. Love making announcements. Ready for all layer 2 meme coin announcements. Really excited for it. So it's time to wrap up this wonderful session that we had. And before we wrap up, I want to ask you guys, since this panel discussion was about blockchain security and restaking AI and meme coin, what's down the road for you guys in terms of security? How does your project aim to continuously improve the blockchain ecosystem security? How will you add security value to the blockchain ecosystem? Martin, you're first on the list. Thank you so much for being here. How does QProtocol, what's down the road for QProtocol in terms of blockchain security?
Great session. So thanks a lot for inviting us and QProtocol. I mean, for us, it's straightforward, and then we are aiming to provide the best-in-class governance security for all projects in Web3. So this is what we'll be focusing on going forward. Specifically, we are looking to integrate more standard use cases. So for DAOs, for protocols, we already have standard use cases for treasury protection, for code upgrades, for expert decisions, but looking integrate into to build and integrate more standardized features into the protocol.
What do you mean by standardized features?
It means that basically protocols can just plug into the Q governance security infrastructure and have governance decisions protected by Q. They can also, and this is then the non-standardized way, they can also make individual proposals, come up with their own customized requirements, and create bespoke solutions. But what we found is that many protocols have similar problems, and many protocols don't really want to be bothered with developing their own solutions. They're looking for modules that they can just plug into.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so developer friendliness. Yeah, I hope we can also collaborate down the road in terms of decentralization and security. Martin, thanks again one last time personally for being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Daima, Hacken has already done so much for this blockchain ecosystem, improving security and smart contracts, Thank you for helping out with Abelian, improve our wallet and our blockchain as well. What's down the road for you guys with everything accomplished so far? What's down the road for you guys in terms of improving blockchain ecosystem security?
I don't really want to repeat about um, all our efforts on the regulation, but you know, the industry is growing up. Like, if to be fair, like, we have less and less hacks in the industry. There are still a lot of teams are building tools, and this is amazing. And in future, I see that we like blockchain will evolve in way more secure industry in terms of the tools and in terms of the SaaS solutions. So I'm positive, and we will continue building, and we will never stop fighting with hackers.
Continue building, continue auditing. Hacken, thank you so much. Daima, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for helping Abelian out again. And please stay tuned to both our channels to get updates on what we're working on together. Thank you so much, Daima. And finally, Dr. Duncan Wong. Duncan, what does Abelian have down the road to improve blockchain ecosystem security? Please give us the final word.
Sure. So speaking of the security in the near term, actually just an hour ago, we had a hard fork, and we introduced a new mining difficulty adjustment algorithm, and that one has been that we have been doing research on that for really a long time, and really excited that the algorithm was finally live, went up over there, and then right now it's actually really in the so-called battlefield and tried out. And in terms of the security, it would definitely stabilizing the network a lot more, helping the system being more secure and decentralized. So this is I consider as a small step for us to further improve the security decentralization of the Abelian Layer 1. And also down the road, as I briefly mentioned, by the block height 300,000, we are also going to introduce two more tiers of privacy preserving wallets. So it's also related to security, while at the same time it's more focused on the privacy preserving, that we are going to have an accountable wallet, which basically protects the privacy of the wallets, while at the same time being able to allow the auditing work to be easier for the individual wallets. So in addition to that, we are further improving the underlying digital signature algorithms, try to make that more efficient, shorter in size, and faster in terms of the signature generation and all that. Hopefully, we will not be sacrificing too much in terms of the scalability, while at the same time ensuring the quantum resistant security and decentralization. So a lot of work upcoming. And also, as I also mentioned, we are looking forward to having close collaboration with Hacken and other collaborators for further strengthening our implementation security down the road.
Yeah, we had a hard fork today that eventually improves our decentralization. We have more hard forks coming that improves user security and in terms of privacy and also security in general with our blockchain. So for those of you listening, to receive your rewards for joining in this panel discussion, please follow all the speakers here. We have Hacking Club, Q Blockchain, Martin A_S, Dr. Duncan Wong, and Daima here. Please follow all of these accounts and you will be eligible to win the rewards. And we will announce these reward winners tomorrow. So thank you so much for all being here, guys. It was a guys. Have a good day, good night, wherever you are. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. Let's go blockchain security. Let's make this a safe space. Thank you. All right, thank you, everybody. Bye.